Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevayam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevayam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevayam. Om Aganda Timarandasya Ganajana Shivakaya Chakshur Umulitam Yena Tajma Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Hare Krishna. The following video series is a summary of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam was translated into English by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Also included are His in-depth commentaries known as purports. These purports unpack the often complex and symbolic language of the text, making it understandable to a wider audience. The Srimad Bhagavatam, also known as the Bhagavata Purana, is considered the most important of sacred scriptures. Composed around 5,000 years ago, it is considered the ripened fruit of the tree of Vedic literature and the original commentary on the Vedanta-sutra. The author of Srimad Bhagavatam is Srila Vyasadeva. He is also the compiler of the Vedas, classified as a Purana, a vast genre of ancient stories and knowledge encompassing history, philosophy, and spiritual teachings. Srimad Bhagavatam includes stories of avatars, creation narratives, lives of saints and sages, philosophy discourses, and practical guidance for spiritual life. Divided into 12 cantos with over 18,000 verses covering 10 subject matters. 1. The elemental creation. 2. The secondary creation. 3. The planetary systems. 4. Protection by the Lord. 5. The creative impetus. 6. Manvatars. 7. The science of God. 8. The dissolution. 9. Liberation. And 10. The supreme shelter. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya-lila, chapter 25, text 143 and 144, Lord Chaitanya, speaking to Prakrisananda Saraswati, tells him. Translation. The meaning of the Vedanta-sutra is present in Srimad Bhagavatam. The full purport of the Mahabharata is also there. The commentary of the Bhagavad Gayatri is also there and fully expanded with all Vedic knowledge. Srimad Bhagavatam is the Supreme Purana. It was compiled by the Supreme Personality of Godhead in His incarnation as Vyasadeva. There are 12 cantos, 335 chapters, and 18,000 verses. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, chapters 1 through 6. Chapter 1. The History of the Life of Ajamila. To prove the strength of devotional service, Sukadeva Goswami described the history of Ajamila. Ajamila was a resident of Kanyakubja. He was trained by his parents to become a perfect Brahmin by studying the Vedas and following the regulative principles. But because of his past, this youthful Brahmin was somehow attracted by a prostitute. And because of her association, he became most fallen and abandoned all regulative principles. Ajamila begot in the womb of a prostitute 10 sons, and the last of whom was called Narayan. At the time of Ajamila's death, when order carriers of Yamaraja came to take him, he loudly called the name of Narayan in fear because he was attracted to his youngest son. Thus he remembered the original Narayan, Lord Vishnu. Although he did not chant the holy name of Narayan completely offenselessly, he acted nevertheless. As soon as he chanted the holy name of Narayan, the order carriers of Lord Vishnu immediately appeared on the scene. A discussion ensued between the order carriers of Lord Vishnu and those of Yamaraja. And by hearing that discussion, Ajamila was liberated. He could then understand the bad effect of fruitive activities. A verse from chapter 1 is text 15. Kechit kevalaya bhaktya vasudeva parayana agham duvanti kartsena niharam eva bhakkara. Translation. Only a rare person who is adopted, complete, unalloyed devotional service to Krishna can uproot the weeds of sinful actions with no possibility that they will revive. He can do this simply by discharging devotional service, just as the sun can immediately dissipate fog by its rays. Chapter 2. Ajamila delivered by the Visnudutas. In this chapter, the messengers from Vaikuntha explain to the Yamadutas the glories of chanting the holy name of the Lord. It was due to Ajamila's glorifying the holy name of the Supreme Lord that he was not punishable. The Visnudutas explain this as follows. Simply by once chanting the holy name of Narayan, this Brahmin has become freed from the reactions of sinful life. Indeed, he has been freed not only from the sins of this life, but from the sins of many, many thousands of other lives. He has already undergone true atonement for all his sinful actions. As they were saying this, the Visnudutas released Ajamila from the ropes of the Yamadutas and left for their own abode. The Brahmin Ajamila, however, offered his respectful obeisances to the Visnudutas. He could understand how fortunate he was to have chanted the holy name of Narayan at the end of his life. Indeed, he could realize the full significance of this good fortune. Having thoroughly understood the discussion between the Yamadutas and the Visnudutas, he became a pure devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A verse from chapter 2 is text 14. Sankheyam parihashamba Shobam helanam evava Vaikuntha-nama grahanam hasesagaharam vidu. Translation. One who chants the holy name of the Lord is immediately freed from the reactions of unlimited sins, even if he chants indirectly to indicate something else, jokingly for musical entertainment, or even neglectfully. This is accepted by all the learned scholars of the scriptures. Chapter 3. Yamaraja instructs his messengers. In this chapter, the Yamadutas approach Yamaraja, who very exhaustively explained Bhagavat Dharma, the religious principle of devotional service. Yamaraja thus satisfied the Yamadutas, who had been very disappointed. Yamaraja said, although Ajamila was calling for his son, he chanted the holy name of the Lord, Narayan, and simply by a glimpse of the chanting of the holy name, he immediately achieved the association of Lord Vishnu's order carriers, who saved him from your attempt to arrest him. The essence of Sanat Dharma, or eternal religion, is extremely confidential. No one but the Lord himself can deliver that confidential religious system to human society. It is by the mercy of the Lord that the transcendental system of religion can be understood by his pure devotees, and specifically by the 12 Mahajans, Lord Brahma, Narada Muni, Lord Shiva, the Kumaras, Kapila, Manu, Prahlad, Janaka, Bhishma, Bali, Sukadeva Goswami, and me. After describing this pastime, Sukadeva Goswami further explained the potency of chanting the holy name and the futility of performing Vedic ritualistic ceremonies and pious activities for atonement. A verse from chapter 3 is text 19. Dharmantu saksad bhagavat pranitam navai viduraso napi deva nasiddha muktya asura manushya kuntascha vidyadara charana daya. Translation. Real religious principles are enacted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although fully situated in the mode of goodness, even the great rishis who occupy the topmost planets cannot ascertain the real religious principles, nor can the demigods or leaders of Siddhaloka, to say nothing of the asuras, ordinary human beings, vidyaharas, and charnas. Chapter 4. The Hamsa-guhya Prayers. After Maharaj Pariksit appealed to Sukadeva Goswami to describe in further detail the creation of the living entities within the universe, Sukadeva Goswami informed him that when the Prachetas, the 10 sons of Prasitnabhari, entered the sea to execute the austerities, the planet Earth was neglected because of the absence of a king. Naturally, many weeds and unnecessary trees grew, and no food grains were produced. Indeed, all the land became like a forest. When the 10 Prachetas came out of the sea and saw the entire world full of trees, They were very angry with the trees and decided to destroy them all to rectify the situation. Soma, however, the king of the moon and the king of all vegetation, forbade the Prachetas to destroy the trees, since the trees are the source of fruit and flowers for all living beings. Just to satisfy the Prachetas, Soma gave them a beautiful girl born of Pramlocha Apsara. By the semen of all the Prachetas, Daksa was born of that girl. In the beginning, Daksa created all the demigods, demons, and human beings, but when he found the population not increasingly properly, he took sannyas and went to Vindhya mountain, where he underwent severe austerities and offered Lord Vishnu a particular prayer known as Hamsa-guhya, by which Lord Vishnu became very pleased with him. Being very satisfied by the prayers of Daksa, Lord Vishnu appeared before Daksa with 8 arms. Understanding that Daksa was very eager to follow the path of enjoyment, the Lord awarded him the potency to enjoy the illusionary energy. The Lord offered him the daughter of Panchajanya, named Asikni. After awarding this benediction, Lord Vishnu disappeared. A verse from chapter 4 is text 13. Antardehesu bhutanam atmaste hari ishvara sarvam tadishnam iksadvam evam bastasito yasao. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is situated as a supersoul within the cores of the heart of all living entities, whether moving or non-moving, including men, birds, animals, trees, and indeed all living entities. Therefore, you should consider every body a residence or temple of the Lord. By such vision, you will satisfy the Lord. You should not angrily kill these living entities in these forms as trees. Chapter 5. Narada Muni cursed by Prajapati Das. Influenced by the external energy of Lord Vishnu, Prajapati Das begot 10,000 sons in the womb of his wife, Panchajanya. These sons, who were all the same character and mentality, were known as Haryasvas. Ordered by their father to create more and more population, the Haryasvas went west to the place where the river Sindhu meets the Arabian Sea. The Haryasvas began practicing austerities, penances, and meditations. When Narada Muni saw that these boys engaged in such commendable austerities simply for material creation, he thought it better to release them from this tendency. Narada Muni described to the boys their ultimate goal of life and advised them not to become ordinary karmis. Thus, all the sons of Daksa became enlightened and left, never to return. Prajapati Das, who was very sad at the loss of his sons, begot 1,000 more sons in the womb of his wife, Panchajanya, and ordered them to increase progeny. These sons, who were named Salvalasvas, also engaged in worshiping Lord Vishnu to beget children. But Narada Muni convinced them to become mendicants and not to beget children. Foiled twice in his attempts to increase population, Prajapati Das became most angry at Narada Muni and cursed him, saying that in the future he would not be able to stay anywhere. Since Narada Muni, being fully qualified, was fixed in tolerance, he accepted Daksa's curse. A verse from chapter 5 is text 22. Svara Brahmani Nirbhata Rishi Kesa Pada Buddhi Akhandam Chittam Avesha Lokam Anuchara Muni. Translation. The 7 musical notes, sa, ar, ga, ma, pa, da, and ni, are used in musical instruments, but originally they come from the Samaveda. The great sage Narada vibrates sounds describing the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. By such transcendental vibrations, such as Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, he fixes his mind at the lotus feet of the Lord. Thus he directly perceives Rishikesh, the master of the senses. After delivering the Haryasvas, Narada Muni continued traveling throughout the planetary systems, his mind always fixed at the lotus feet of the Lord. Chapter 6. The Progeny of the Daughters of Daksa. As described in this chapter, Prajapati Daksa begot 60 daughters in the womb of his wife Asikni. These daughters were given in charity to various persons to increase population. Since these offspring of Daksa were women, Narada Muni did not try to lead them towards the renounced order of life. Thus the daughters were saved from Narada Muni. 10 of the daughters were given in marriage to Yamaraja, 13 to Kashyapa Muni, and 27 to the moon god Chandra. 4 were given to Kashyapa, and 2 each to Bhutana, Angira, and Krishtaba. One should know that it is because of the union of these 60 daughters with various exalted personalities that the entire universe was filled with various kinds of living entities, such as human beings, demigods, demons, beasts, birds, and serpents. A verse from chapter 6 is text 38. Atata suryatam vamso yoditir anupurvasa yatra narayano deva samseva vatarad vibhu. Translation. Now please hear me as I describe the descendants of Aditi in chronological order. In this dynasty, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayan descended by his plenary expansion.